Part of me always wants to stay in my comfort zone and do nothing. That is why every day I have to battle with myself. I have to work on myself to become better. There are times when I experience failure and get too tired to fight. I become less like myself. I may even overlook how I hurt people close to me with my words. The only thing that helps me recover is prayer. It gives me the strength within me to fight and overcome difficulties. Jesus helps me become better, and in this, I find happiness.
Good evening and welcome to Connect Life. My name is Kirsty.
And my name is Steve, and we are both ministers at Connect Life Church in Caerphilly, and it is great to see you all again this evening. We hope that you are having a good week so far.
As we mentioned on Monday, we hope that these short times together will help you, whoever you are. Some of you may just be tuning in for the first time because you have many questions, and others because you want to know more.
Our first video this evening talked a little bit about prayer, and it's been interesting to see the statistics on prayer during this recent COVID-19 crisis.
Yes, in surveys, many people have stated that they have been praying regularly during these last few months. So if you fall into that category, then you are not alone.
And as we said on Monday, we believe that none of us are alone and that God is a lot closer than we think. And he's interested in each one of our lives.
So tonight we're going to talk about the theme, can our lives change? I guess all of us at some time in our lives have wished that we could turn the clock back, not make a mistake we've made, not said something we have said. We all wish at times that things could be different.
Our next short video explores this thought through the story of Isaac, and it's called This Life Is Yours. We hope that you enjoy this video.
You know, dreams can become reality in a city. Nobody that's telling you what you can and what you can't do, and there's an endless amount of opportunity. I had the girls, I had the parties, I had the friends, and like with everything else, like working in fashion, you wear a pair of jeans for like a week or something like that. It's all consumables, and I was in this fast-paced lifestyle that was kind of eating everything that I got close to. Whenever I was on my own, everything would kind of stop and everything would hit me. I didn't know what I did the weekend, if I'd done something stupid or what I'd done to people. Like an open, gaping hole inside of my heart that was just like really like tense, and I didn't care about anything anymore because I was hurting so badly. This one day, all of this met me at the same time. And then I found myself in the train station. There was nothing left. And the thought cropped into my mind. I was like, I don't think anybody actually will care if I would jump now. Walked over to where the trains were, and I was contemplating and getting ready to finish it all and end it. And in that moment I felt my phone vibrate, and I saw it was my mum. And 2 hours later I was on a plane to England. When I came back to my parents, I knew what to expect. My mum and dad had a faith and they believed in God, and they were going to try to convince me of this thing. I thought, you know, I'll just go there, get some money together, and then I'll go straight back to the city. One night I couldn't fall asleep. I was just rolling around in my bed, and in an instant I felt God come into my room. I know it's a bit of a strange thing to say, but I was so sure. I've never been so sure about anything in my life that It was God that came into my room and asked, come on, boy, it's now or never, like a strict dad would. I was still fighting that thing, and I said, you know what, I don't care, mate, whatever you say, I'm not coming back, I don't want to do this. And he asked me a question. He said, so what have you got? I said, you know what, if you can take this little thing that I've got that's called Isaac's life, if you can make something out of it, because I can't, then I'll give you everything. Because I don't know how this works. I can't do it anymore by myself. And it was in that moment that I felt that I was no longer alone, and he said, okay. And I had hope to meet my problems, meet the things that I'd messed up. And that makes me be able to wake up in the morning and fight another thing. Fight things from my past that I could never look in the eye. Look at fear that I was so afraid of. I have never ever been this happy. He's like that perfect father that none of us ever had. He's right there with you. And he will never let go of you.
I suppose that is a big challenge for all of us. It's much easier sometimes just to keep on doing what we're doing and try not to think about the big questions. Questions like, is there a God? Can he be known? And can our lives change?
Yes, Steve, it's always a challenge to ask the big questions. I suppose lockdown has given some of us the opportunity to slow down a little and to ask those kinds of questions.
I know that many have been asking those questions, but the good news is we believe that there are answers. And I suppose that in some ways, COVID-19 has taught us some important lessons. This short video puts together some things that we can learn from COVID-19. Perhaps you can identify with some of these.
So Monday, we heard a great song from Ian Yates, and today it's a song by Helen Youssef. And this song picks up on the theme I'm going to speak about later on.
My child, be all that I purpose for you to be. My child, there's so much more than you could ever think or see. My child, your potential is greater than you know. My child, I'll take you places you never dreamed you'd go. So don't lean on your own understanding, and in all things acknowledge me. And as you trust in me with all of your heart, I will make straight your path. child, you were born for such a time as this. My child, there is a reason, a plan for which you exist. My child, I knew you before you were conceived. My child, if you think I don't care, then you have been deceived. Now don't be dismayed when I discipline you. You see, it's only what a loving father would do. Now if you ask me, I'll forgive you every single thing. Oh, you just open up your heart and ask me to come in. And child of mine, be mine. I love you, child. Be mine. I've loved you since the beginning of time. So child, be mine, be mine, be mine. I never meant for you to run. I never meant for you to hide. I never meant for you to live without me in your life. But your choice has to be yours, and just your mind must be your own. So unless you ask me in your heart can't be my home. Child of mine, just be mine. I love you, child of mine. Be mine. I've loved you since the beginning of time. So child, be mine, be mine, be mine. I've loved you since the beginning of time. So child, be mine, be mine, be mine.
Thanks, Helen. Another beautiful song. It returns us again to that theme that we looked at a couple of nights ago, the theme of a relationship with God.
Yes, this theme is one that is constantly referred to in the Bible and is the heart of what we want to talk about tonight, because it is at the heart of how our lives change.
I'm reminded of perhaps the most famous story Jesus tells in the Bible. Jesus was famous for his parables, and this one comes top of the list for many people. It's the parable of the prodigal son.
This parable is a favourite amongst many people, not least because it talks about the theme of a second chance. Let's watch Di Waldridge as he gives a modern retelling of this story.
I was your son. You were my dad, but I gave you up and I was glad. I was blind. I was lost. I made you pay the total cost. I took half of it and I squandered it. I spent money like I was made of it. Down in the gutter, there was nothing left. I found myself drowning in a sea of debt. No place to go. All alone, tail between my knees. I walk home, but you threw a party because you found me. I rejected you, but you call me family. You call me home. You call me back. You look at me and tell me that I am your son and you are my dad. And you will never give up on me. You will never give up on me. You will never give up on me. I'm so glad.
Kirsty, on Monday, I got a chance to talk a little bit about how we can have hope. And today, you're going to chat with us about the theme of can our lives be changed?
Well, today, I want to start with a little bit of music. I think that many of you will recognise this.
Love changes everything, hands and faces, earth and sky. Love changes everything, how you live and how you die. Love can make the summer fly, or a night seem like a lifetime. Yes, love changes everything. Now I tremble at your name. Nothing in the world will ever be the same.
I wonder how many of you are singing along with me. I had quite a crush on Michael Ball in my younger days. Look at that hair, isn't it fab? I want to spend just a few minutes talking about what it means to be loved by our Father and how this changes everything. See the smooth link there? I grew up loved and accepted. I was allowed to discover who I was and to go my own way. And I always knew I had a home to come back to. Rather like the prodigal son in this story. What a twit he was. Even so, I did not understand what it meant to be loved. Really loved by my Father. For me, love still had the point where it would break. What if I ran away? What if I associated with people that were dishonourable? And what if I wasted all of my Father's money? Surely that is a breaking point. In the story, we see the son doing all of these things and more. He comes back to the Father out of sheer desperation. He has no other choice, expecting to be sent away. But here we see love in action. How often do we see God as standing in judgment on us? If I had written this story, I would have placed the Father at the front door with his arms crossed and tapping his foot. He may have let the son back in, but would have told him off and made him work off his debt. Not so our Heavenly Father. He runs to us with his arms open. He not only accepts us, but he welcomes us back and he throws a party. I like to think that this son completely turned his life around and changed. But you see, change is not easy, and it's almost impossible when we're scared of getting told off or judged when we inevitably fall. Change is not easy when we're told it's something we have to do or else. Our Father, though, is not like that. Change is so much easier when we know our Father is cheering us on, and we know that he will help us to get back up when we fall. Toddlers don't start apologising every time they fall over. They reach their hands up to their parent, who picks them up and puts them back on their feet and cheers them on. If human parents can do this, can you imagine how much more amazing God is? Now, the things we may fall over doing are much bigger than a toddler. But then again, our God is so much bigger. I think this short poem by one of our church leaders, Andy, might help illustrate what I'm talking about here.
I consider myself to be a grain of sand on the seashore. I consider myself insignificant. I consider myself unknown, unloved, and uncared for. But you, my God, I saw you come, and you singled me out as a man might pick up one grain of sand. And you picked me up and knew me. And my heart, O God, is astounded that you should care in such a manner for me, that the love that you have goes beyond my comprehension. And you kept me, spoke to me. You told me that I was precious in your sight. You told me that I was loved. You told me no one could love me as you love me. You didn't discard me. I didn't see you toss me back onto the beach to be lost among the myriads. I saw you hold me. My heart today is full of praise for you, for I know that I am loved, and I know that I am special in your sight. I know I am counted worth saving, though I myself have felt worthless. Such love. It is to this I praise you today. It is for this cause I stand to worship you. It is out of this understanding that my heart rejoices, for my God has reached down and saved me. I give you my heart and gratitude. I give you my thoughts. I give you all the deepest recesses of my heart with all my dreams. For you, the Lord my God, are the restorer of broken dreams. for I was nothing without you. But this day I know that I am precious in your sight, and I am yours. This, my God, is the root of my praise today, that you love me. Who else could have found me in this way? Who else could have named me? Who else could have picked me up? Who else could have loved me with such a deep love? This, my Lord, is my honour to you, that when I said I was no one, you knew me, gave me hope and a future.
I have been a teacher for many years. When I first started teaching, I was told that I could not get close to the children, that they had to respect me, and I must not let them get away with anything. I did this for a few years and did not really have any problems, but I really did not enjoy it. I got the results, but I had no relationship with the children. And worse than that, the children in my care obeyed me because they must, and not because they wanted to. I then moved to a new school and had a class of challenging children, and I realised that this approach would not work here. These children had difficult home lives and were in desperate need of attention in any way they could get it. Thanks to a lovely TA who lived in this area, she showed me the importance of relationship first. At the end of the year, I loved these children, and I knew all about their lives and the things that were happening to them. And you know what? I did not need to shout or threaten them. These children learnt how to behave because they knew I loved them and accepted them. Little faults were overlooked, and instead every small step forward was praised. Believe it or not, God is even better than I am. We change, not because we must, but because we are loved so much that we can't stay as we are. The children in my class didn't want to learn to read, and they couldn't see the point in it. But at the end of the year, they could. Sometimes you and I don't see the need to change, but just as the children in my class trusted me, we can trust the Father. Nothing is too big or too hard for him. No one is beyond his reach or his love, and that means you too. Try allowing the Father to help you, and I promise that you won't look back.
Hello, me. It's you. Well, the younger you. How are you doing? I hope you're taking care of yourself and you've managed to achieve all the things we've dreamed of. Did you marry Sally Jefferson like we planned? Wow, I bet you're so happy. I bet things are going great. Are you still going to church? I know you loved Sundays with Grandma. I know you're probably very busy, but I just wanted to say I'm proud of you and the man you've become. Remember to always believe in yourself and put God first. With love, your younger self.
Thanks, Kirsty. And probably some of those watching won't even remember what a tape recorder is in our digital age. But what you said was really helpful, and I hope that it's reminded those watching that God is the God of second chances.
Yes, again, this is a big subject, and we've only really been able to start the conversation that many may be having about this subject. Do you have any suggestions for anyone watching who wants to know more, Steve?
Well, as we said on Monday, you can also get in touch with us by sending us a message or by sending us an email to connect@connectlife.org.uk. We would love to chat with you, and if you have any questions, well, we can't guarantee that we know the answers, but we are really happy to try to help.
So we only have one more programme this week on Friday at 7 p.m. And as Steve has said, we would love you to join us. We're going to finish now with another song, this time featuring Elam Sound. The musician and singers are taken from our family of churches across the UK, including Ian and Helen, who you've heard over the last 2 days. Have a great evening and good night.
Present in our history, we glorify your name, we glorify your name. We remember all you've done, we glorify your name, we glorify your name. We've seen your grace at work in us. We're reminded of your steadfast love. Here we stand, God, we are so thankful. Looking back, we know you've been faithful.